Whoa, what the just happened? So Paramount has moved to acquire Warner Bros. Discovery. And while that might sound like one of those stories that's only interesting to investors and people in boardrooms, trust me, there's a lot more to it than that. When you start looking at what Warner Bros. Discovery actually owns, you realize this could potentially affect huge chunks of stuff that many of us grew up with. Hell, I'd even say most of us if you're here watching this. Like, we're talking about Cartoon Network. Scooby-Doo, Looney Tunes, Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Teen Titans, Adventure Time, Regular Show, and of course, this even affects Mortal Kombat and DC. Excuse me if I sound excited or like I'm riled up, but we have to really think about this. A lot can and will change, but none of it's gonna happen overnight. But whenever a merger this big happens, people naturally start asking questions. What happens to Cartoon Network? What happens to shows and franchises that help define entire generations? But wait, before we even go into like opinions and where I stand with it, let's start looking at what's actually happening right now. Paramount has agreed to acquire Warner Bros. Discovery in a deal worth more than $100 billion, creating one of the largest entertainment companies on the planet. If the deal is completed, the combined company would control an enormous collection of television networks, movie studios, streaming services, gaming properties, and some of the most recognizable franchises in entertainment history. But it kind of makes sense. The idea behind the merger is to create a company big enough to compete with modern entertainment giants like Netflix, like Disney, like Amazon. Something that could really compete with the ever-changing streaming landscape. And while company executives are talking about growth, efficiency, expanding their reach, fans are looking at brands that they fell in love with and they're wondering, what the hell is going to happen? Ironically enough, I'm actually working on a Mortal Kombat video, so this whole merger thing just caught me off guard. I think we all knew something was happening, but admittedly I kind of forgot. So this news blew me away.
'Tis confusion!
A lot could happen, but at the same time, nothing could happen. At the end of the day, this isn't really a story about billion-dollar companies. Most of us don't even like billionaires. In my honest opinion, this is more so about the cartoons, the games, and the characters that shaped a whole generation. Hell, I would even say multiple generations. And as a lifelong Mortal Kombat fan, it's at least worth paying attention to. Personally, you can take this with a grain of salt. I think this might actually be a good thing. Seeing things like Danny Phantom being able to actually cross over with Ben 10, seeing Dexter and Jimmy Neutron potentially, stuff like that is what makes me at least optimistic that something good can come out of this. I don't know, maybe we even get like a real multiverses, something that crosses over with all of the Nicktoons from All-Star Brawl and like all of the characters from Multiverses. I wouldn't mind watching Aang have a sit down with Liu Kang. Anyways, I am super curious to hear what everybody else is thinking about this. Is this like the end of entertainment? Is this the beginning of a huge shutdown in terms of like things coming together? I don't know. Let me know what you think. Hit me in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe. Also, catch me in that Mortal Kombat video that I mentioned. It'll be coming up next. I'll catch you in the reruns. Bang.